After a year of bizarre news, countries from Mexico to the EU to Eastern Europe want to build a wall to stop American big tech censorship. You're watching TechShark, bite-sized news for conservatives surfing the net. Alright, look, I get it. We're Americans. We don't care about other countries because we're the best. I hear you loud and clear. But right now, when we as conservatives and free speech advocates feel kinda on the outs, lots of countries, some of which some people probably can't find on a map, might help us protect free speech. France is the latest country I reported on, which has not only condemned big tech censorship, but also warned that the American left's race-baiting politics and cancel culture could destroy Western civilization. That's part of a trend of leaders around the world all eager to do something about it, especially big tech. Now, Mexico's president said he had plans lined up to make an international anti-censorship coalition as early as January. He compared big tech to the Spanish Inquisition and proclaimed he will make a proposal at the next international G20 summit. They've already heard from France, Germany, and the European Union, Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. He also refused to congratulate Biden at first, because he himself had a history of being concerned about voter fraud. Even the French, yes, the French, are outraged by America once again.
Monsieur, don't try to be funny with me.
But this time, it's our censorship and cancel culture. AP reported February 4th that a very upset French president expressed outrage over big tech companies choosing to suddenly cut the mic and silence all the platforms where it was possible for former President Donald Trump and his supporters to express themselves. I also stumbled upon this tweet from journalist Glenn Greenwald. He summarized a piece from the New York Times, saying it showed, quote, Obama-endorsed French President Emmanuel Macron has joined numerous French intellectuals and journalists in warning that out-of-control woke leftism of US campuses and its attendant cancel culture poses a grave threat due to the social strife it creates. Eastern Europe, the countries which have endured their fair share of censorship and tyranny back in the USSR, have entered the arena as well. One of Hungary's political leaders announced, quote, after consulting with the heads of the involved state institutions, the Ministry of Justice will propose a law to the parliament this spring about the regulation of the great tech companies, end quote. Poland's prime minister, who also knows a thing or two about living behind the Iron Curtain, condemned modern censorship as being like past authoritarian regimes. The Guardian reported, quote, a draft law being readied in Poland will make it illegal for tech companies to take similar actions there. Now here's the shark bite. To us Americans, it may seem like freedom of speech is a value liberals are trying to throw away, just like every other common sense value we shared on both sides of politics back in the 1990s. But here's the deal. We're not alone. Tens of millions of Americans believe what we believe. Hundreds of millions in other countries altogether also believe in freedom. Europeans, former Soviets, Latin America are seeing our censorship and cancel culture and are outraged by it. Yeah, I'll admit it sounds weird. Why are places we don't read about, leaders we don't recognize, caring about what happens here? Simple. Freedom of speech, going all the way back to Socrates dying for it, may be the founding value of Western civilization. I mean, last I checked, Christ got put on a cross by the government for being a rebel in his time. This goes way back. Fighting for free speech is more ancient than 1776, and the fight to defend it is bigger than any one country. Personally, I find it fascinating. The East European countries that were behind the Iron Curtain in the Soviet Union are now defending free speech more bravely than many of our fellow Americans. Big tech does unprecedented censorship. Cancel culture takes down our favorite celebrities and abolishes our history and even our sciences to the point even the French are concerned. And many fellow Americans say there's nothing to worry about as they take their kids to drag queen story time or whatever. That's what's normal now. Many American corporations will fire you for not being on board with all that I mentioned. That's because many of our fellow Americans have been conditioned to accept atrocities while being outraged by opinions that were normal a few decades ago. Politicians that pursue endless war are seen as presidential. Disney can thank the Chinese government that puts Uyghurs in concentration camps. You're more likely to get cancelled for offending a powerful group here than you are for enslaving or bombing one into oblivion abroad. Your daughter can sign up as an amateur porn star on OnlyFans, but if your son openly condemns political correctness or says things we all believed in '97, God forbid, that would hurt the family reputation or his job prospects. The fact is, the American establishment and corporations right here at home are the biggest threat to pretty much everything we value. Personally, I find it kind of hilarious that from the 80s to the 2000s, we were the macho country, and we saw France and really Europe in general as being some kind of PC dystopia. Now, our country is the one being blamed for spreading the plague of PC politics.
Now, when I was a boy and rock and roll came to East Germany, the communists said it was subversive. Maybe they were right.
So what's the game plan? We accept that this isn't the Cold War against communism anymore. This is the fight against our own corporate tech tyranny. We need to work with international allies to save freedom in our own country. In a time where we are seeing two Americas, it's time to embrace that the fight for free speech is an international one.
But they'll never take our freedom!
Thanks for watching TechShark. Once again, I'm Alex Hall with MRCTV and Newsbusters Tech Watch. Have a good week.